It's been a summer of travel planning for many people in KELOLAND as more countries and destinations are easing their restrictions for vaccinated travelers.
But as people prepare to head out, they are finding one major technicality still holding them back: the impact of the passport backlog and how to navigate this new challenge in tonight's Eye on KELOLAND. Tony and Jill Dunn said "I do" in August 2020, right in the middle of the pandemic.
We really were limited on who we invited, just family.
While their wedding looked a little different than they'd imagined.
It was kind of stressful, wondering what you could do, what you couldn't do.
Planning a traditional honeymoon during the pandemic wasn't a possibility.
We didn't even look into it.
No.
Traveling in last August was ridiculous.
Should we look up El Dorado Royale?
Now they're planning their big wedding getaway for their one-year anniversary.
A trip like this has been quite a few years. Yeah.
Pre-kids for me, so 12, 13 years.
But there's a lingering pandemic-induced problem that could still stand in their way. What do you feel right now about the passport situation?
A little anxious about it. You know, if it doesn't come, we'll have to change everything and go through it all again.
Both of their passports needed to be renewed, so 16 weeks ahead of their trip, they mailed in their passport applications and were told
8 to 12 weeks, and we figured we had plenty of time, and now it's not looking so good.
Now, with just a few weeks before they're supposed to take off for Mexico, they're still waiting for their passports.
Every day hoping it's there.
Stressful.
Yeah.
And it's taking a lot longer than what it ever has. In the 21 years I've been doing this, it's crazy.
What used to take 4 to 6 weeks to process is now taking 18 weeks or more. Even paying to expedite your passport still comes with a roughly 12-week wait.
It used to be you could get it back in 2 to 3 weeks if you expedite.
We're very frustrated like everybody else is. Anybody who's trying to travel internationally right now, and there are lots of people for whom the pandemic prevented that are now really anxious to get out. In many cases, to see family they haven't seen in a long time. In addition, you've got business travel, recreational travel. And so this backup is just completely unacceptable.
South Dakota Senator John Thune says his office and many others are putting pressure on the State Department to sort out this backlog.
It's getting people back to work. I mean, they just haven't, their people are working remotely and they've got to be in the office to process some of this stuff. And so we are urging them to get their people back, their employees back in the workplace.
In the hands of somebody, and they are reviewing your application.
You can monitor the progress of your passport application on the travel.state website, but many applications stay at the in-process stage for at least a full 12 weeks.
Then the next step is going to be that it has been processed and is mailed.
But the State Department says even the mailing process can take another 6 weeks, 2 timelines that are really just rough estimates.
We've had to cancel and rebook several clients, actually, because they didn't get their passport in time.
All About travel consultant Lori Boos says if your passport status doesn't show mailed within 2 weeks of your trip, you should contact the passport office.
Those numbers, it's hard to get through. It could be hours and hours and hours of wait time. There's also an email address that you can send an email to. Or, of course, there's also your senator's office that you can contact to see if you can get a little help there.
We do have resources in our office. We have somebody who just specializes in this kind of work, and if people need help, we can help push the process along. We've done that a lot.
Senator Thune says all congressional offices have someone who specializes with working with the State Department on behalf of their constituents.
If you run into any roadblocks along the way that you need some help pushing through, get in touch with our office.
So close.
It's a phone call the Dunns hope they won't have to make, as the countdown to their trip is now just 3.5 weeks away.
I suppose we have travel insurance.
Yep, basically rebooking everything.
But they're hopeful they won't have to further delay their already postponed honeymoon.
We would have to wait till harvest was done.
Yeah.
So we'd have to probably wait another, 4 months to go.
Oh, I hope they get here in time. Wishing them the best. Now, even if your passport isn't expired right now, there are a lot of countries that require a valid passport for 6 months after your return date. So if yours expires within 6 months, now is the time to renew.